Hey everybody, Jason Shadwick here with PremierGuitar.com, and we are in the Fender Artist Showroom in Burbank, California with Chris Shiflett from the Foo Fighters and the Dead Peasants. And today we're going to talk about a couple of your favorite Telecaster guitars.
Yes, we are. Well, this guitar here is my newest Tele. I just got this recently from Fender. And as you can see, it's a beautiful surf green color, and it's got the white binding, which is kind of unusual for a Tele. And it's got the rosewood fretboard, and I love a rosewood fretboard. It's the greatest thing in the world. I saw this guitar out in New York recently when we were out there, and I was walking around going to guitar stores and stuff. And I took a picture of it and texted it to my friend Nate, who works over at Fender. And I said, dude, do you guys still make this? Like, can I still get one of these? And he was like, yes. And I got it the next week, and I've been playing it ever since. This is my favorite guitar right now. And every time you play this guitar, people are drawn to it. People love it. I get a lot of compliments on it because it's just so pretty.
Pretty stock? You haven't changed or updated or...
I have not changed one thing, and I don't plan to. I don't know what kind of pickup this is. I think Nate told me, but I forgot. And it sounds great, and I don't want to with it at all. It's a 62 Tele Custom. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, beautiful. Theoretically, I could use this in the studio with the Foo Fighters, and there's a few Foo Fighter songs here and there that I could probably get away with using a single coil pickup on. The problem is that, I don't know if you've ever seen us play, but we go from song to song like that. Mm-hmm. So there's not a lot of time to switch guitars. I have to kind of sneak in guitar switches where I can. Mm-hmm. And mostly with Foo Fighters, you know, I've always played guitars with humbuckers in them, which, you know, I can't say too much about it, but we do have something special that I'm working on with Fender that is going to involve Telecasters and humbuckers. So, you know.
It's a good combination.
It's a great combination.
So tell us a little bit about this brown Tele you have here.
Okay. Well, this is a Tele I bought in New York maybe 10 years ago, and I always wanted to play a Tele, and I could never really get my head around the single coil sound, because it just, for like, you know, I was always in rock bands with like a lot of distortion and big guitars and stuff, and so I just could never get used to a single coil. And I bought this one. I'm not really even sure what year it is, but I played a gig the other night with this band, The Far West, and the guy looked at it and said, "Oh, you got a Mocha Tele. They only made those in this year to this year." So I assume he was correct. And my expert at Fender tells me, because of the logo and some different things on it, that it's probably a late 60s, early 70s one. But so anyway, so I bought this guitar, and I think I might have tried to play it in the Foo Fighters here and there. You know, I always wanted to play a Tele like Keith Richards or Joe Strummer or whoever, you know, but I just couldn't get my head around it. And so I put in a quarter pounder into the bridge position, and then that was so crazy hot, but it still was like too thin. And I tried to do that, and I tried to use it with my Dead Peasants band. And then it was funny because it was too thin for the Foo Fighters and too hot for Dead Peasants. So eventually I settled on what's in here now, which is a Seymour Duncan, I think it's called an Alnico 2, something like that. Anyway, this is the best single coil pickup ever, in my opinion. I love it. It makes it sound perfect.
And other than the pickup, have you changed or updated or modded anything else on the guitar?
I haven't. I don't know if any of the previous owners ever did, but no, that's the only thing I ever did to it.
Your other band, Dead Peasants, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with those guys if people don't know, and what their vibe is all about?
Well, the Dead Peasants is a band I started a couple of years ago. We made an album in 2010. And did a little bit of touring, and then, you know, right about that time I was put the album out was when Foo Fighters started rehearsing and getting ready to make Wasting Light. So you know, we really didn't do anything with Dead Peasants for most of the last couple of years, just because it's been so busy with Foo Fighters, working a lot. And then a few months ago we just started playing again. We started rehearsing. We've been learning this huge list of old classic honky-tonk songs. So right now we're kind of just being a cover band, which has been really fun. And in the last few months we've actually rehearsed and played together more than we ever did when we were doing shows before. And we just started doing a few gigs around LA, and we've got a bunch coming up through the summer and through the fall. and we're going to get ready to make. I'm going to try to make 2 albums with Dead Peasants this year. So we'll see if we pull that off. But we've got an album of honky tonk covers that we're going to make, and then we're going to make a new real album maybe.
So the first album is not a honky tonk influenced album. It's more of a rock record, or
it's honky tonk influence. I mean, it's really just kind of like rootsy Americana type stuff. It's a lot of acoustic guitar, a lot of telly, a lot of my Telly Deluxe all over it, and a lot of pedal steel. It's got that kind of thing. But it's funny. I thought I really knew kind of old school country music, and I kind of got into it in reverse. Through rock music, and then just kind of worked my way back to what did the Stones like? They liked Elvis, and what was Elvis listening to? Maybe he was listening to Hank Williams or whatever. And when all the sort of alt country stuff started happening years ago, I got into that, like Uncle Tupelo and Son Volt and things like that, Ryan Adams and all the sort of stuff that came out of that. But I didn't really know real deal old school country as well as I thought I did until I met my friend Marty, who plays pedal steel with me, who's he's been sort of in the country world for a long time, and I just started picking his brain. What's a good song? What song should we cover? And he would give me, try this one and this one. He'd give me a list of songs, and then that would lead to some other list of songs, and then I just started buying all these old records, and we put together the set list that we're doing now, and it's good. It's like I think to really understand, to really get your head around, any kind of genre, you kind of have to live in it for a while, and that's what we're trying to do.
And where can people go online to find out more information about the Dead Peasants?
What's funny about that, man? Nobody ever puts our shit on YouTube. So let's start a campaign. If you're at our show, put a clip from it on YouTube, because sometimes I'll go I want to see how we sounded the other night. I'll go on there no, I guess nobody was that stuff.
So do you guys have a website?
We do have a website. It's chrisshiflettmusic.com, and it's super duper out of date, but I'm going to try to update it soon. And we have a Facebook page and all that sort of stuff. So, excellent. Yeah.
All right, Chris. Well, thanks a lot for taking time to talk to us.
Right on. Thank you.
This is Jason Chadwick with PremierGuitar.com.